Hey everyone, just posting another tips and tricks video for WRC 10, which I have discovered recently during my last run in Spain. And I'm merging it with some tips for wheel and pedal settings, so you could improve your timing as well. Before I start, you may need to have a look at my default wheel settings by clicking on the top-up banner on the top right corner, and also check out my full car setup guide by clicking the pop-up banner on the left. Let's start with the wheel and force feedback settings. Wheel angle is always set to 540 for the best real-life rally experience. No questions about it. On next section for force and effects, we have the overall force, and I usually keep it at 100, but I increase it to 120 on gravel and snow to counter that light feeling of a steering wheel. Self-aligning torque is also kept at 100 without change in all the stages. And I keep the tire load at 90. This indicates how hard or soft the steering wheel would react when the springs are under pressure when going over jumps and bumps. Self-center is another parameter that I change based on the stage. I increase it to 120 on tarmac for more recentering force. And reason is to minimize excessive steering to left and right, because on tarmac we need to be as smooth as possible. Getting excessive angle on tarmac is your enemy and costs you time. Recenter force has no impact on your driving, but decrease it to about 60 or 70. It indicates how forcefully your wheel gets back to the center position when your car responds. If with high speed you get out of track in the corner, and if this value be high, when game respawns your car, expect to damage your fingers. Happened to me. Next area for vibration setting doesn't have much of an impact of how you should drive, but how do you want to feel while driving. I drop the value in almost all of these. I only keep the tire vibration at 100, so I will know when my tires are losing grip to either countermeasure or adjust my car setup accordingly. Now let's move on to the key binding section, which I discovered some tweaks to help me drive better based on how I control the steering wheel and pedals. I didn't have any complaint about the throttle, so I left it as how I previously set it up. But on the brake section, I did some adjustments. I do not have a proper racing cockpit and my pedals are on the floor. And I have a racing chair, but it is not connected firmly to floor. So when I sit, my knees and feet are slightly bent, so sometimes I push the brake pedal slightly by mistake during long practice sessions as I get tired. What I did to counter it and to be more efficient was to add 3 degrees of dead zone on the brake pedal so I can rest my foot on it. And if I slightly press it by my weight, it will not trigger. 3 degrees may seem not much, but I was losing time without even noticing it because the brake pedal was slightly engaged. Also, to counter the braking delay, I increased the sensitivity, which increases the braking force as soon as it gets engaged. You can set these based on your behavior and needs to get the best result. You can apply same logic for your clutch, throttle and handbrake if you have any, and tweak them for yourself. Another thing I did change was the sensitivity of the steering wheel to 2 degrees on my historical Spain run. It has about 5 tight corners that needs fast movement of the wheel, and I felt like I'm not moving the wheel enough, and changing the wheel degree was not an option I would like to do. So instead I increased the steering sensitivity, and I can tell you that it helped a lot. But mind you to bring it back to 0 if you are on tarmac, as this will work against you, because as I said before, we need to be as smooth as possible on tarmac to maintain our speed and not to lose time. Hope this additional information be useful for everyone playing WRC 10. Happy driving, see ya in the next videos.